And I think I'll start with the Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal needs to make a big decision, and I said they need to make a lot of decision as to the way that said omitting a compete assigning another midfielder just to replace Thomas Partey at the end of this particular season. And I said Arsenal will keep to extend the contract of Thomas Partey or Arsenal Football Club and obey one particular decision. And Mikel Arteta together with the sporting director Babafo Frano will need to decide. Over the weekends, Mikel Arteta to me make a lot of press conference to the English media. And then he made it the point, say, as to so to me extended the contract of Thomas Partey into the football club called Arsenal Football Club. No, it will be a decision as sporting director in the bit making that particular decision. So or not as a coach there, we're making it clear to the sporting director say or per se Uhia Thomas Partey in the Arsenal Football Club. But as to say sporting director we're making sure say Arsenal will actually sign Thomas Partey on that particular midfield role. No, it depended on that particular sporting director on one case decision of bit making at the Arsenal Football Club. But then in the last 5 seasons, and that's in the last 5 years, Thomas Partey, ABC and kind of Arsenal Football Club, he has actually shown a lot of contribution into the Arsenal Football Club setup. Notwithstanding, in the 2020 season of free Atletico Madrid, ABPM or Arsenal, he was worth just close to about 42 million euros near Tony Diffley article and about Arsenal. And since about Arsenal Football Club, he has been able to show great improvement upon Odwan Kasane career as a static midfielder, defining the act of a deep line playmaking role for Arsenal Football Club. And you can easily imagine, so when he came to Arsenal Football Club, he was playing the likes of Granit Xhaka when he was being used as a typical number 6 for Arsenal, and then Granit Xhaka was being used as a box-to-box midfielder. When he becomes so serious, you get Thomas Partey to become an orchestra who will support Martin Odegaard just to create a lot of chances into the attacking third of Arsenal Football Club. But then he wasn't able to replace Thomas Partey. Dani Ceballos. For Dani Ceballos, he came as a loan. When he came to Arsenal, it was very difficult for him to even get a lot of playing time for Arsenal. A lot of midfielders have bypassed the midfield of Arsenal Football Club. But as to say, to the side of Thomas Partey from that particular deep line playmaking role, it has remained that particular question. Was he erasing edema? Most of these people are Arsenal. But then Thomas Partey is a very fine footballer, boss. In this particular season only, he has been able to participate 125 appearances for Arsenal, scoring 9 goals and then 78 wins and 21 defeat for Arsenal Football Club as a defender. It tells you in the start, when he's playing for Arsenal Football Club, he creates a lot of moment for Arsenal, just for them to go into a winning percentage streak for himself as a static midfielder for Arsenal Football Club. But just only this particular season, the kind of passes that he has been able to omit in that particular midfield has been close to about 1,528 passes only in the central midfield of Arsenal. One particular thing that you can easily get from a static midfielder in a particular position in the midfield of Arsenal. And they say, Arsenal has seen a lot of midfielders. But then, dear Thomas Partey, Arsenal this season is incredibly unbelievable for the side of Arsenal Football Club, because 1,528 passes only this season. It tells you the kind of moment which show Edema Arsenal in most of the competition with Arsenal Football Club. Although Arsenal is not competing in the FA Cup, Arsenal in the EFL Cup is not in even the English Premiership. Arsenal ain't competing in the English Premiership or Mother Second. The kind of point between Liverpool is very wide. But this particular man showcased his quality when they met against Real Madrid at Emirates Sports Stadium and even at Santiago Bernabeu, spotting close to about 1,528 passes only into the midfield of Arsenal Football Club. When you talk about big chances created this season for Arsenal, he has created just 3 big chances for Arsenal Football Club. Not only say last season, last 2 seasons, when you compare the stats of Thomas Partey of Arsenal Football Club, you could clearly imagine when he tried to create a lot of chances, but then he's not a certain creativa who tried to progress the ball into the attacking zone area of Arsenal. Martin Odegaard, a relaxed ball, a progressive ball, Declan Rice becomes a box-to-box midfielder. So between this particular 3 midfielders, more creative chances in Arsenal, or attacking turn as basic central midfielders has been certainly about Martin Odegaard and the side of Declan Rice in attacking third of Arsenal Football Club. But they'll talk about total crosses. He's not that kind of player or stretcher called the horizontal wide zone. It's a lot of inside crosses editing to the attacking third. But then as a central midfielder, he has been able to give Arsenal 12 solid crosses into the attacking third, just for either Bukayo Saka, Mikel Merino, and I said Gabriel Martinelli, for them to tap in these particular crosses into the attacking third of Arsenal Football Club. But in terms of team play, I'm talking about the kind of system Mikel Arteta bought. Arteta bought the side of 4-3-3 tactical system, and then he's tried to make sure, so in the 4-3-3 tactical system, he uses, Papa friend said, Thomas Partey to become an inline generator who can easily progress the passes into the attacking third. But this particular season, only 2 assists per Arsenal Football Club. It tells you, say, something is very good for the side of Arsenal Football Club in that particular midfield. But then the big chances on which Arsenal has been just only 2 per. It tells you that when you give Thomas Partey a lot of chance to be progressible and to go on the zone 14 of the opponent, he can easily do that particular magic for you as an attacker. But then this is the clean sheet of Thomas Partey when he stepped in as a midfielder for Arsenal. 6 clean sheet for Arsenal this particular season. Tackles, almost 79 tackles this season in the midfield area. Ono has been that particular midfielder with just 79 tackles for him to become a stable midfielder for Arsenal Football Club in terms of interceptions. So be opponent the ball carry drew the central midfield of Arsenal opponent. No way to make sure to be intercepting most of these progression of passes from the opponents. Papa even said Thomas Partey has made close to about 30 interceptions for Arsenal Football Club in terms of recoveries. So off the field of play, so off the ball. In terms of player ultimately make a lot of recovery from the opponents, Thomas Partey has made close to about 112 recoveries for Arsenal Football Club. Duel 1 in terms of one-to-one midfield battle with most of the opponents, he has made close to about 149 recoveries won for the side of Arsenal. And duel loss has been just 102. So Crabbo, no easy possession to the opponent, has been just 102. But then the effective area battles one are crucial for Arsenal for them to progress the ball in the dangerous attacking zone. Has been close to about 26% for the side of Arsenal Football Club. Clearances as a static midfielder for Arsenal has been 40 clearances for Arsenal Football Club, and launches of passes, ultimate launching dangerous passes into the attacking third of the opponent, has been 21 passes. Thomas Partey has made it for the side of Arsenal Football Club. This is what I was talking about in the statistics in the 2023-24 season. That season, when Timiambo from Arsenal, he had just 621 passes. DIABY that last season, a lot of injuries set in for Thomas Partey, but then he was able to make close to about 621 passes for Arsenal Football Club. In terms of total crosses, it was very few. It was just close to about 2 per. We check accurate long balls, so we created that to the attacking third. It was just 25 accurate long balls for the Arsenal Football Club. It tells you last season, when you're the on the side of Arsenal. But the last 2 seasons, that was the beautiful career of Arsenal, and that's the beautiful career of Thomas Partey playing for Arsenal in the midfield. The kind of pass where Arsenal was 1,946 passes. So compared to a neighboring passes now, where Embo season we are close to about 1,526 passes as compared to last season 1,946 passes. Now it tells you that Arsenal Thomas Partey was doing something magic for Arsenal. Abroad almost competed closely with Pep Guardiola in the competition of the English Premiership last 2 seasons. The total crosses for Arsenal in terms of Thomas Partey total cross was 9, and then accurate long balls was 107. It tells you say he is doing something magic for Arsenal. With this particular start time with Diego, if only Arsenal will actually proceed to extend the contract of Thomas Partey, they have to do so, because currently as we speak, we have 4 conditions that are burden for Arsenal, and that's Thomas Partey, the table currently as we speak. Now, Barcelona is trying to get involved in Thomas Partey contract saga, because at the end of this particular June, Partey contract with Arsenal will be over, and Obetima is free agent that he can be able to negotiate with any other football club on Obetima body, and Barcelona has stepped in. The only thing Obetima is difficult for FC Barcelona, just for them to financial difficulties. Baker Thomas Partey, in a week, he gets close to about 250,000 euros, $250,000 dollars for the side of Arsenal Football Club. When it becomes like that, the side of Barcelona will need to get a lot of financial stability for them to sign Thomas Partey FC Barcelona. But all checking other football club also requested from the signature of Thomas Partey. You get a close to about Juventus last 2 seasons. That particular rumors as the Juventus can easily sign the side of Thomas Partey into their football club. No, it was very questionable. But Juventus agree into that particular label requested say Thomas Partey will come to their football club. But then in the Saudi Arabia, boss, close to about 20 million euros they had to win the table for Thomas Partey for just 2 years. 20
million euros.
20 million euros for Thomas
Partey.
For just 2 years. For just 2 years for Anasa. Very good. And then I'm actually thinking, say, Thomas Partey can easily go to Anasa to get that 20 million euros for 2 years. but he believes that he still needs some time to actually glint in the European spell. Articles so it me make a lot of progress. But articles see multimi propaganda the other side of Thomas Partey is 9.49 million euros per year. And Diego Simeone a properly 2-year contract. Thomas Partey. So on coming back to Atletico Madrid. That particular in common also after said Madrid and I said Arsenal was able to eliminate Real Madrid Football Club in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. It became a particular topic. Now article, the management of article, and even Diego Simeone was requesting for the signature of article, and I said for the signature of Thomas Partey. But to me, so Thomas Partey echo article. Intimate Papa even Thomas Partey because of the ball pressure and what the side of Diego Simeone tactical play and the conference a lot of movement in the midfield. Fakye ever on the bench. He is playing two youngsters or more that energy or more that exuberance. They can easily try to augment a lot of things in the central midfield of article this season. And Pablo Barrios and Rodrigo De Paul is doing that particular magic for the side of Arsenal. But boss, and then one big match beats Matuja. Barcelona, Real Mallorca beats Matuja and then but then a big match because Barcelona needs to win this particular game. In the last 74 matches at this particular two football club team, Barca has been able to win close about 47 matches. And then 12 draws within these two football clubs. Real Mallorca has been able to win close to about 12 wins as a basic football club. It tells you, say, Barca has been able to dominate in terms of these particular matches from about together Real Mallorca. But it's all translated quickly. The last time Mallorca for FC Barcelona was far back in 1999 when they actually won that particular game. Camp Nou, Barcelona by 4 goals to 1. And from 2003, Barca involved myself in 14 matches ever played with Real Mallorca. And Barca has been able to dominate with 13 wins from 2003 up to currently. It tells you, say, Barca, when they are actually playing Mallorca in any other game, some will Copa del Rey, some will Supercopa España, some will in Spanish La Liga, they've been able to dominate meeting against Mallorca. And then it will be a particular moment that I was FC Barcelona team in the last matches. You can easily imagine, say, Mallorca, best thing was far back in 2023 when they actually drew with FC Barcelona by 2-2. The last time Barca and so dominated a lot of games was about Barcelona 3 goals to nil in the 2023-28 May. But then in the last 7 matches, Mallorca 18 against FC Barcelona. This has been the sole result for Mallorca playing against FC Barcelona, and they've been able to make sure so Omuntimi and share FC Barcelona. Some Moko away, some Motina home at the ABOU FC Barcelona. No, it has been very, very, very difficult for them. But boss, this particular season, the last 6 away games are Mallorca for about they has been able to win a lot of games for themselves. 6 away games, and they've won 6 away games for themselves. So going in the close margin against Camp Nou, against the side of FC Barcelona, boss, it's a very difficult game for FC Barcelona. The time makers and Mallorca will have a game to play against Real Madrid. In the last 8 games, when they are able to compete in the Spanish La Liga, Mallorca will play that particular game, the last penultimate game on Bebo and Sana Madrid about Sevilla in their last game in the Spanish La Liga. And they are playing against FC Barcelona. If Sir Obibetime decided the destiny, and I said the title destiny of these particular 2 football clubs it will be Mallorca and Enuary. And that will be a close margin for FC Barcelona. So this game, and no one say hands to flick, Efan and Fala. So I'll go into the game because the last 14 games were between Mallorca or Ometima dominated 13 wins and just a drop. APM at the other side of Mallorca into Barcelona Betima dominating. No, a very dangerous match at Barca for Betima. But then so all predicted in the starting level Betima Kodema FC Barcelona. Juskunde will be played as a right full back, and positioner for the side of FC Barcelona. Ronald Araujo will become that particular right centre back for the side of FC Barcelona. Inigo Martinez will become a left centre back for the side of FC Barcelona. Gerard Martin will become a left full back for the side of FC Barcelona. In terms of the midfield, Frankie de Jong, Fleming Lopez, and then Gavi will start to play for the side of FC Barcelona. But I'm tipping, say Ankoye, the kind of game for Real Valladolid in that particular weekend, and they should start Frankie de Jong and Pedri because the side of FC Barcelona, we speak, it has been a close compatibility between Frankie de Jong and Pedri not Frankie de Jong and Gavi. But Femi Lopez will step in because of Dani Omo Epra, and then he can easily become a creativa and also as a typical number 10 at the side of FC Barcelona, attacking Tedo. But then you get Rafinha who playing the right wing forward for FC Barcelona. Ferran Torres will step in because this season only in Spanish La Liga he has scored 16 goals, and then Ferran Torres coming in as a substitute, scoring a lot of goals. They show say Robert Lewandowski is not even in the squad of FC Barcelona. He can even step in and score a lot of goals for the side of FC Barcelona. Lamine Yamal will step in the left wing forward for the side of FC Barcelona, and he can able to play a lot of games for them. But then this is the tactical system of Hansi Flick when he's trying to project his ball into the attacking zone. McCarthy said he blends the typical tiki-taka and the typical high pressing system for the side of FC Barcelona, making sure so with me I'm making a lot of triangular square in that particular midfield, making sure Sir Frankie de Jong air ball in the typical deep line playmaking role now. Obi Okweni a lot of processions, and they are going to the attacking third now will become Papa said Danny Olmo, but then you Danny Olmo into me, but so you get Femi Lopez who will step in as a creative, no single progressive ball into the attacking third. Then Obi to say Rafinha will just invent himself from being the right winger to the central midfield role just to support Robert Lewandowski into the attacking third. Barca airborne in the high build up, now so move push a lot of opponents into their opposing zone. They try to make sure say the two center pairs of the opponents, would just try to come in deep just for them to make sure someone might create a lot of space between that two center parts of that particular opponent. So when you call in the second picture, you will understand me. This is the second picture, and this is how Barcelona try to make sure someone might get involved into the attacking third. Just like the previous picture, I'm sure, where Robert Lewandowski, now he has been able to make sure the two center backs, age none swatches, so he will try to drop back just to support Rafinha in that particular central midfield and for him to get a lot of ball. Now, somebody going to the second picture, or drop it back, you could easily make sure Rafinha any air running inside the available space that the two center backs they show on. So that will be the moment. But if it's creating a lot of splitting passing to attacking third, it's a certain Pedri who will come in and split a lot of long passes into the attacking third. Sometimes he makes long passes beautiful, but sometimes too he creates a lot of lofted long passes into the attacking third of Barcelona Mancasa attacking front. But this is it. Pedri magic creates the FC Barcelona. It is actually oriented. It is space oriented thing that ultimately bought the side of Barcelona. Anyone Sebastian shall say Pedri is the new Toni Kroos for FC Barcelona because currently the kind of incisive passes and as generated passes into the vertical passing of the FC Barcelona has been solely beautiful for the side of Pedri. This is another pass that you get from Pedri. So to initiate a lot of passes into the attacking zone. Now you get in a moment, Sebastian air attack here, they create a lot of numerical superiority. So currently as you speak, you get close to about 3 or 4 players from Mudna Barca or Mancasa attacking third one, making sure somebody might exploit most of the spaces available in the opponent's half. That is how Hansi Flick won the ball because one ball a lot of numerical superiority here. A bit in boy and share unless create a lot of chances into the attacking third. They may patch and say, a lot of attackers in the door. So share a lot of players or mother Honma. Close to about 7 players and the Barca 18 exploited in the spaces of Mancasa opponent. And this is Papa Pedri trying to locate most of the spaces that the two center backs of the opponent. Which one make a close pass for Papa and say either Robert Lewandowski and I say Rafinha or anymore at the side of the side of FC Barcelona. It tells you that Pedri is that particular magic. He can easily create that space exploited magic for the side of Barcelona. So or transitional anymore, he can easily do that particular magic for the side of FC Barcelona. This is the typical view of Pedri, how he makes the beautiful long lofted pass beautifully. It's the spacious effect of Barca on attacking front. It tells you that he is a key member for the side of FC Barcelona currently as we speak. But this is the final 6 games of Real Madrid and
Barcelona. Don't see for mommy.
Barca Ebo Mallorca home. Obo Valladolid away. Obo Madrid in that particular. May omit about that particular match. Getafe Celta Vigo Barca for Real Madrid Football Club. Mallorca in the last 4 matches for the side of Real Madrid Football Club. It tells you say the destiny between Mallorca and that's the destiny between Barca and the Real Madrid Football Club. So bit imagine the Spanish La Liga. It depends on Mallorca and then you bring say Mallorca to me depicted Emma Barca 8 million so just a pointer. Madrid Nyam watch now playing against Getafe can easily get a bounce, a beautiful win against Getafe with me up closing in the gap between this particular Spanish La Liga. But boss. And then you didn't go from what I say. You didn't go from.
Oh, okay.
There's a special code they go on. So what team you call your Facebook Live for let me call for this booking code MIN. Yes, booking code. Me what's one?
Bobosun.